Plug us in.
And we're going for it.
Did you plug us in down there?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see you do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like sleight of hand magic.
Okay.
Hey everybody, what's happening? It's the Jimmy Doane Show live on YouTube. Today's 31st day of January 2021. Welcome to the show. What's happening?
Well, here I am in the hospital.
Yes.
I did have my surgery on Friday.
Aha.
I was in and out in no
And you didn't make it.
No, I did pretty well. There's no problem. A little bit of pain, but yeah. No, it was another. It was just a little dorky thing. I was in and out in a couple of hours. But they did put me to sleep. I'll tell you.
Even for that little short.
Even for that little time, I was asleep for maybe an hour, 15 minutes or something. Hour and 15 minutes, and they woke me up, and it took me about another 30, 40 minutes to kind of recover. But yeah, it was basically pretty quick. So what do I care?
Cool.
So anyway, bring up to date on the usual stuff that I do. Gold is 1847, hadn't changed at all, hardly. But there's news.
Yeah.
There's news.
We'll get to that.
I'm going to get to that. Silver's at 27.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin's at 32.7, which is up. It's been fluctuating all around that. From 30,000 to 34 and so forth. And GameStop, of course, is what, 348 or 350 or something?
330 something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was on up there. It was still the short squeeze is on. Now, there's two things to consider here. One, I went through a lot of the explanations for what the short squeeze was.
Right.
And these people were all out at the 30 minutes. It doesn't take 30 minutes to talk about this. You short something, you expect it to go down.
Yeah.
And the most you can make is is the total amount of money. In other words, if you short a stock at 50 and it drops to $0, you make $50. That's it.
Right.
You don't make enough dime more. And the risk is, of course, it can go to a jillion,
right,
and you lose everything.
Right.
You go completely broke. That's what they call the squeeze.
30 minutes. There you go.
Okay. And then, but the other way, obviously, if you favor the stock, you do something we call buy it and wait, and that's just that simple.
Well, I think everybody was getting in on a couple of the angles, which I thought were fallacious. There was the anti-hedge fund wave of people.
Yeah, let's stick it to the man.
Well, and not only that, but the hedge funds are bad because they're hedgers.
Well, that's right.
They're speculators.
They're speculators.
Evil.
Well, people don't realize that, of course, speculation is probably one of the most important things that we have in a capitalist system. It is essential to the smooth operation, and where the hedging comes, generally speaking, is in commodities. What happens is a farmer will sell his corn in the future, and somebody will agree to buy the corn at so many dollars a bushel. And of course, what they're hoping is that the price will go up, and when they actually take delivery, they're going to make a profit on it. So, but they're always on that kind of thing on commodities. There's always somebody on the other side that thinks the price is going to drop. That's just the way it was. You go look at Trading Places, okay? Trading Places was the movie that broke the brothers, and I mean it was a perfect example of what it was all about.
Right.
You don't have to know anymore. Now the other thing
squeeze with the orange.
With the orange juice squeeze. I mean, it was perfect explanation. A very entertaining movie. Eddie Murphy, the whole deal. It was great stuff. Dan Aykroyd and everything.
Well, that's what I thought. People were getting lost in the weeds in terms of they were trying to explain why the hedge funds were either good or bad.
Yeah, no.
And I mean, actually, they were all bad. And then the other side was why the trading by the individuals was bad. How this was. Shapiro was talking about, this doesn't do anything for the market. Yes, it does. It provides the other side that you were just talking about.
That's right. You have to have the other side. And of course, what Shapiro and other people are saying is they're not actually producing anything.
Right.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff that we do out there that doesn't actually if you're a broker,
what it produces? Information.
You're an attorney. What does an attorney produce, for God's sake?
Well,
no offense. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. No, that's right. But I'm just saying
legally, you can't say that.
I know. Squash, yeah. But it's what
you're
is
totally right. There's information. There's value at every transaction that's voluntarily done through the system. Now, yes, they obviously, the Robinhood people got in way over their heads.
Yeah.
And I think they could be in big trouble because...
Again, we'll see. It'll work its way. It's some way, shape, or form it's going to work its way out.
Yeah, no, well, look, I just said Robinhood will be in big trouble. I didn't say the whole economy is going to be in big trouble.
Well, believe it or not, there are a couple of people that said this could bring the whole thing.
I know, but they're looking at the size of the short on GameStop, and they're thinking, well, if they can do it there, they can do it everywhere. Right. No, you can't.
Interestingly, there is another one.
Well, they're trying other things. I mean, they tried AMC already.
Right.
And look, and certainly a company of that size you can do because of the size of the market cap. Okay, but you're not gonna. I mean, right now they're trying to do silver as we speak.
Here it is, right here. Right here.
Jumping on ahead. Go ahead.
Way to jump ahead. It's the next item here.
Hey, man.
On the list. I know.
We both found the same thing.
Everyone is afraid of the open, it says here. The Reddit raiders sparked nationwide physical silver shortage. Now, the markets, what they're panic stricken is when the markets open here in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I think it's tonight is when the markets open in Tokyo or wherever they open. I don't even know. I don't think they open in Chicago. I don't think it might, but.
Oh, you mean at night?
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be tonight is when they're worried that there's going to be an open someplace where people can start actually trading the silver futures.
Right. Well, I mean, certainly if doesn't it still go by Greenwich Mean Time, and so you would
could very well, whatever.
So the London market's open.
That's right. The London market is going to open 5 hours before everybody else, or something like that.
5 or 6, depending on
5 or 6, depending on where you are. Right. So and they're saying everybody is holding their breath. They're not doing anything, until they've been scrambling around trying to find, bullion coins or whatever, anything they could get their hands on.
Well, did you notice that the national story in Bloomberg quoted the numismatist in Gainesville, Florida?
No.
Yeah.
Who?
Millard something or no? I don't know.
Well, not our guy.
No, I don't think so.
We have our coin dealer here.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah, they know. Hopefully, they don't know our guy.
No, that's right. Yeah. But anyway, 24 hours preceding Friday market close, SD bullion sold nearly 10 times the number of silver ounces that we normally would sell in an entire weekend, leading to the Sunday market open. And then, as of 10:30 this morning, Eastern Time, it would appear that the run on silver has begun. With the market closed, traders have rushed to secure some exposure to silver ahead of what WSB suggests could be the world's biggest short squeeze that has left bullion dealers. So, I mean, here it goes. So
now they're trying to squeeze the shorters that did the silver contracts.
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
And so what they're doing is buying up all the physical product.
Exactly. So there's no delivery. That's the same like the shares.
Right here, man. There you go.
Yeah, that's right. That's like the shares of something. If you buy up the shares, that's the same as actually buying up the coins. And so, if you have to deliver, 10,000 ounces, where? I got it here, but you ain't getting it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It says bullion dealers are now facing massive shortages of physical coins.
Yeah, for the time being. I mean, I'm just of the mind. Now, look, I don't know it all. It's a total intuitive. I did not do the math on this. I'm doing the mentat. This is the Dune.
Well, this is your Mensa thinking.
That's right. I'm doing a Dune calculation
okay,
here.
Good.
All at once, I'm just going to say silver is bigger than GameStop.
No question.
Okay.
No question about it. I mean, it's huge.
Right? What's the market cap on all of the silver in circulation?
Or in storage or any place else.
Right, that's what I mean.
We're talking about 1,000-ounce bars everywhere.
Right.
I mean, this is, and when I remember years ago, of course, in 1980 or whatever, when the Hunt brothers tried to corner the silver market, it went to $50 an ounce.
Right.
From $2.
Right.
Well, they unfortunately got slapped. And they lost a bunch of money. I forget exactly what happened, but they got squoze out, is what it boiled down to, or something.
Well, still, they were able to cause a run up to $50.
$50, that's right.
At that time.
I'll tell you.
I guess the Redditors, man, they could do it, I guess.
Well, it's right. I mean, I don't know how many millions of people there are on that particular. It's
got to be a lot.
Oh, it's several millions.
Yeah,
I think.
And how many of them are going to open up their wallets to get on the?
Well, of course, if they make all their money off GameStop.
Let me tell you, yeah. I mean, it would be.
I saw where somebody closed out their position on AMC for a $780 million profit.
Woohoo! Oh, that was the guy from Chewy.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
With a $21 million investment.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not
No,
a good
not
day
bad.
at the office. I would take the rest of the day off.
I think I would too. No, that is interesting to me to see the way that stuff works. Okay, now here's another thing. Facebook has decided we're now more insanity.
Yeah, well.
Do you want Trump off Facebook forever?
Who?
Yeah. He whose name shall not be mentioned. Really,
Still talking about that guy?
The oversight board on Facebook wants comments soliciting the decision to ban he whose name shall not be mentioned.
Right.
And its potential comeback. So if, let's say, you want to ensure that the former commander-in-chief, the recent commander-in-chief, that is to say, you may have to help. You have to send in your complaint or whatever it is by 10 o'clock on February 8th in the morning, by no more than 2 pages of Times New Roman 12-point font.
Get the fuck out.
No, I'm serious. It's something.
You know what?
Include your full name and organization.
Hey, you know what? Spin your wheels, man.
Well, what I'm saying is,
Spin
this
those
oversight. This is it. They have now an oversight, independent.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I saw
oversight board, and so they're going to get people.
Who they are? They're top men.
Top men.
That's right.
That's right, and they probably have a little thing there.
Sure.
Oversight
I mean,
board.
Former judges.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Officials and CEOs and.
So the point being, of course, what is funny about this is that. So people write in. I mean, what you can't be serious that you're going to weigh these and say, okay, yes.
Well, like I said, we're at full pendulum swing.
Yeah.
In terms of 1984 repurposing of words.
Yeah.
People have got to realize the other side soon, which is, look, you're an adult. And you make up your mind.
Boy,
what the
I'll tell you,
words
they
mean.
don't believe it. I was listening to one of my lefty ones today. It's called it's the three guys political Gabfest, called the Gabfest.
Okay.
And they're lefties, three lefties, and one of them is actually John, what's his name, who's head moderator on Meet the Washington, or one of the Sunday morning shows.
Okay.
And two other people. There's a girl that's a writer for the New York News or something, and I forget who Ira, what's his name is. I forget what he does there, but he's in Washington. Anyway, they do a thing on video. I mean, not video, or video or audio. I don't know. Every Thursday, and they're trying to come up with the ways. They said this business about free speech, and this, that, and the other thing. What are you going to do about something like Parler and all these other places? And what kind of algorithm are you going to use? And should there be some federal oversight? And this, and I'm thinking,
no words with the letter F.
Well, what's so funny about this is that at least two of the people in there, they had some suggestions, and I'm going like, who are you? I mean, what makes you goddamn smart? And they're always worried about the ignorant
I'm
people.
Say no 4-letter words. If we could just ban all the 4-letter words, yeah,
like work.
Exactly. I mean, like, that's not going to work. Look, again, at some point, the pendulum has got to switch back, and all you need is one part-time 16-year-old. That's it. And if the red flag goes off in the 16-year-old's mind when they're reading the text that's been sent in as flagged as some kind of a thing, and if the 16-year-old thinks that this is actually an attempt at coordinating some kind of attack or something like that, then she calls the authorities. Otherwise, everybody fucks off. I mean, go home.
The whole thing about it is the idea that you can, and they were dancing around this. What kind of an algorithm would it be? And would you do this? And what happens if the? And I'm thinking you got no clue. Were you insane people? If you think for 2 seconds that there's what we should have is some limited federal oversight.
They've just never been through the philosophy thinking about the concept.
It's just, I was stunned to think when they start to say something and they say almost the exact opposite and not realize it. That they're demolishing their own arguments.
And they have to go through those machinations in order to get to the concept of what they're trying to do and why it won't work. I mean, there are words that are reserved, if you do something like if you change them, people are going to come up with other ones. I mean, it's
well, yeah, that's true. Well, of course that is right. That of course breeds euphemisms all over the place, which is a little bit of
sarcasm and the whole look.
Yeah, the sarcasm.
There's
right.
no way. There's no way around. There's no way to prevent people from communicating the bad ideas. There's not. You have to hear the bad ideas in order to know they're the bad ideas.
Well, what's funny about this is these three people are worried about the people who might listen and take the bad ideas to
not them.
Not them. No, not them.
Yeah.
They are the higher elite. We know what's good and bad
That's
for the dummies. And there's a third of the people in the United States that do this and
right. Yeah, you're right. They're everybody under 18.
Yeah.
And we don't let them make up their minds about shit. Okay, but once you're an adult, then all words are on the table. You go through that. There's a rite of passage in about middle school where you use every bad word.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then you realize, oh my God, no lightning, and and then later on in philosophy, hopefully you realize the purpose of all that shit.
Yeah.
But
shit.
Yeah, exactly. But they're gonna keep trying. Like I got some crazy examples when we get to it when we get to the COVID stuff.
Okay.
Of law enforcement in the last month.
Well, I did see there was a very fascinating what's his name on Fox, Carlson.
Okay, Tucker
Carlson, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about there's a guy here in Florida that's been arrested and thrown in jail. He's an 18-year-old. He's a kid. And apparently they got him for inciting a riot or something, misinformation.
No, you're talking. That's the article you sent me, right? This is the guy. What he did was he more or less posed as a government agency.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't. It looks like he was just like when you read the headline, it makes it out like he was just posting memes or something, misinformation,
right,
to manipulate the election.
Right.
But what he was doing was he sent out texts to a whole bunch of people,
lots, yeah,
thousands of people, and basically said, if you want to vote, just text this name to this or whatever.
Right.
So a bunch of people thought that they had voted, and so you can't impersonate a government official. That's.
10-year jail sentence? I don't know.
Oh, that's hideously bad. I mean, it should be. It should be a misdemeanor.
Who would believe that? Seriously, even there are so many scams. There are all kinds of things that come up, and it looks so official. I mean, from my bank, here or you get a phone call. Hi, we're from your bank here, and we notice there's a problem here. Could you click?
Right. But look, if you do happen to do it, then the punishment for the other people comes down to how much are they getting? How much are they getting from you? Are you the only victim? Was it one guy who called you up? Like this guy, or was it? Does he have an organization of people? I mean, you take all that stuff into account, and the amounts that they got from you, the amounts that they steal, determines the punishment that they receive.
Okay.
Now, 10 years. I mean. I don't know how many people he disenfranchised. I don't know how many that they speculated about.
Yeah,
that.
they speculated.
They actually went and interviewed the people and did a
apparently, according to Tucker Carlson, they interviewed nobody.
Okay, yeah,
actually nobody.
That totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And now is he actually going to get the 10 years?
Well, he's in jail. I mean, they hauled him off in chains at 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever the hell it was.
But what they do in our system is they threaten you with 10 years.
Oh, I know.
To make sure that you get it 1 year. They say, look, we'll give you 1 year, and you can go home in 1 year.
But of course, one of the things, again, I know it might have looked all official and everything like that, but really, if you're that stupid and you believe the scam like that stuff, I mean, it's just.
Well, to some extent, it's the buyer beware thing, but you have to have a system that discourages people from literally imitating the officials. If you're going to have officials and you're going to have people voting and shit like that, then you got to have some. You got to have badges. I mean,
you do have to have badges,
and that's what he basically did. Was he made a badge?
Okay. So, all right. Well, we don't need those thinking badges.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need a lot of them, and voting is a scam in a lot of ways, but. We still do it, and so might as well protect it.
I thought it was interesting. Now, it would have been kind of interesting. I don't know what they did. Was this just a spam to 10,000 or 20,000 of his followers?
That's what it seemed like.
Okay, but who's to know if they're Republicans or Democrats or Independents? If you, it might have all been a wash.
Well, I presumed from the allegations, and that's what will be talked about in court.
Okay.
What you're talking about now is what the defense attorney is going to get into.
Yeah.
Is did any of the people actually do anything about it? Or did all of them go, oh, that's just a joke. That's just Fred. Of course, I know that's a scam. I've been following it to see what other people will do.
Well, it is interesting because Ms. Jimmy,
who?
yeah,
Corporate?
Ms. Corporate, everyone gets some fairly regular phone calls.
Yeah.
From somebody with, shall we say, a Southern Asian accent,
right,
claiming to do something,
or East African,
or something like that. And of course she asked me. She says, "Well, is this real?" I said, "You you crazy."
Yeah, I know. She's had a couple of, but they'll call up and say, we're the IRS. And
yeah, no, they'll do that. But what the scam, of course, is, and you need to pay it right now. Here's what you do: go down to Target and get a credit card. How about, are you nuts?
Yeah, not a credit card, but the debit card.
The debit card, right? You have to get in and Oh my God! I mean,
well, in her defense, she hadn't been on the internet for the last 10 years.
That's true.
And seen the scams. Everybody,
That's true.
Everybody's called them out and everything.
That's true.
A lot of information on the internet. Everybody should watch YouTube.
Yeah, well, I've been having some fun with that recently.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, now here's the next item.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be considered a domestic terrorist under the new law?
This is the Terror Act that we talked about. Now, look, I said there's no. It's going to go. There's nothing in the act itself that defines what terrorist is.
Really?
Really. It's 17 pages.
Okay, but it does say it authorizes offices dedicated to combating.
That's what it does. It authorizes offices. It says, there shall be an office called the Terror Agency.
But I mean, once they set up an office with people in it, what are those people going to do? They're going to go find this stuff.
That's right. That is right.
If they're going to get paid, they can't come back in the office and say,
got nothing here.
Got nothing today.
No terror here. No, that's what I was trying to say last week. Is either they're going to go round up the Scott Adamses and the Alex Joneses and those people, in which case they're not going to get freaking anywhere because those people are all protected by the constitutional rulings from the Supreme Court about free speech.
Yeah.
Or they're going to go bust hillbillies out there. They're going to tote in. They're going to rewind the tape at Charlottesville and play and see who was there carrying a torch or whatever it is, and go after the 27 people who.
Well, they're all doing the facial recognition on the Capitol.
Sure, that's what I'm talking about.
The invasion.
Exactly.
The storming of the Bastille.
That's right. AOC almost got barbecued.
I heard that, and she was almost in tears.
Well, look, they had, from what I understand,
noose.
Well, and plates and like a barbecue sauce, and there was a whole thing there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, I don't know, but so yeah. Well, they got that taken care of. Did you see what they've done recently in the up in the Capitol?
I saw that they've got some brand new fences around there.
Check this out. This, you lived here.
Yes, I did.
I mean,
let me tell you something.
Does this look like DC to you? Look at this. Look at this razor wire.
My God.
Guards every 20 feet.
We are talking third world dictatorship.
I mean, what are they
Honest to
afraid
God.
of? Like, seriously, what do they think is going to happen? Like, what are these guys here for?
And they're outside wearing a mask?
I know, they're outside of the fortifications. That's the other crazy thing. Like, you keep people inside of the fortifications. The whole point of the fortification is so that when people trickle over the fortifications, it's easy for your army to beat the shit out of them. If you put your guys on the outside, that defeats the entire purpose of the fortification.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to have that job.
And it's just, and look, here's a cop, and this is funny, okay? He's gone by like 12 guards, right? And this cop tells him, "Hey, dude," and I don't know if they can hear or not. We can never hear. This cop right here that he just walked by tells him to get across the street. Or maybe, yeah, this guy, he's like, "Hey, man, you're too close to all the dudes with guns."
Jesus. Now, you can call that a temporary barrier all you want.
Well, I mean, look at that. Look at it. It totally surrounds. I think it's the Senate building.
Probably one of them, yeah.
I mean, what are they expecting? Like, what are they? Who went to the commanders and said, "Look, we got something happening. We're going to need National Guards and fencing 10-foot high Constantine wire around the entire permanent." I mean, it's just, I don't know.
It is pretty amazing that as I said, like you said, I grew up there. Okay, and let me tell you something. My grandmother lived about 4 blocks from the Capitol, literally from the Capitol, and I would spend the night there on some weekends. Literally would walk on over to the Capitol, and in fact, this is when Truman was in, and he would walk around outside of the White House, no problem. He just have his daily walk out, and he wanted to go hi Prez, no problem. You could walk into the Capitol anytime you wanted, any place you wanted. You could go just about any place in the Capitol. There's a little subway that they have, a little tram that goes back and forth between the House and the Senate. And one of the great things that I used to do was to ride it, let's go grandma, that kind of stuff. And but not so much anymore.
It doesn't look like it. I mean, that certainly.
And that's just in one lifetime, shall we say.
Yeah, well, I don't know how long that's going to last. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I keep expecting there to be some more effort at the crowd control. We haven't heard too much about Portland and stuff going on, but we have seen some. I mean,
one of the problems you've got here is there's nothing so permanent as a temporary government program.
Well, and look, here is your government at work here doing law enforcement. This is the Tacoma thing from last week that we played, but from a different angle. This is him about to plow through these people here. Can't really see that too well, I guess.
There's a cop car driving through.
Yeah, he just ran over all those people, but I had a couple.
They deserve it.
Just
if you're going to stand in the street, for God's sakes.
Look at this one. Okay, here, watch this woman on the far right. Whoop.
Whoa.
This is it.
Where was this?
I think this is overseas.
Okay, I would say that.
This is the water cannon to the head here. I mean, this is what we can expect from law enforcement in the in the future.
And look at the thing. Look at that thing's probably you're not going to take a 22 and shoot through that armor.
No. And I mean, just they water cannon her into next week.
That's right.
I mean, and then you've got these. Look at this. Here's an example of I guess more of what we can expect. This is a skateboarder, and you can see. I mean, clearly some kind of insurrectionist here. So these 2 officers interdict and make an arrest
for
not stopping when they told him to stop, and now they're jaywalking. They say jaywalking.
How come they're not wearing masks? Nobody is. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah.
He's nowhere near the street. I don't know. It's just weird. It's like, okay.
Well, you've noticed up here in our street, their cops are on the sides of the street up here at University Avenue.
Yeah, for the jaywalkers.
For the jaywalkers, yeah. It's kind of interesting.
If you were going to do it anywhere, I mean, if you were going to have jaywalking enforcement anywhere on the earth, I mean, actually, they're college kids.
They're college kids. That's right. Well,
you can't cross the road and you're in college. You got a problem.
Yeah. Well, when you realize, of course, that all the students are on one side and all the food is on the other side.
I know, that's a terrible arrangement. And it's 4 lanes, and there's a median which is like as big as your foot, which is like, so you can balance on the median. It's not like there's a one with trees and stuff in there.
Well, it is interesting because they what they're now proposing, the city wants to petition the state to buy that road and have it city owned. And then what they'll do is they're going to make it one way, and one way the other, with a big median in the middle, but still no jaywalking.
Yeah.
No jaywalking. So maybe what they'll do is put some concertina razor wire in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the way that the funding works for roads right now, if a road is one way, then it's counted as a lot less traffic. And so they get like extra funding.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why we got a bunch of one-way streets all over the place now. Every time they redo like the downtown area, they put in a few one-way streets. It cuts down on people driving there. Yeah, that's right. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it is.
Because you got to drive around in a freaking circle.
Yeah, boy.
You know? And I mean, I got to believe that if somebody did a study about people driving around in circles, that you would see that the increase in accidents.
He wouldn't care.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If you
I went there before they started.
Their assertion is it's for your damn safety.
Of course it is.
And they've been screwing up our roads around here. I mean, it's amazing. They're like straightening out little roads that would come in from weird angles that we've been using fine for 50 years, and just really clogging shit up. And it's
safety.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. If they did an actual study, I doubt it. All right, what else?
Let's see. I was just going to say I've had a little bit more on the domestic terrorist bill here. It says provide training and resources to assist state, local, and tribal law enforcement. So the tribal law enforcement, I'm wondering what tribes those are.
Well, that's just a few people or whatever.
I know. And they want to prosecute cases of domestic terrorism. It also requires these officers to provide Congress with biannual reports assessing the state of domestic terrorism threats. Now, you know that they're going to have that on their word processor. You know, there's going to be some stuff like, with specific focus on white supremacists.
Focus all you want.
I just am blown away that they get away with something like that.
Well, you know, look, they did a study, and you know, you can see the map or whatever, and
well, they finally figured out there's more white people than not white people.
Well, not only that, but
and they're all terrorists.
The way they did the calculation is
and they're Republicans.
No, look, the way you do the calculation is it's you go back and you look at all the crazy mass shooters, and then you look at what you think their motivation is, as though you can determine what the insane person. He said he was a Trumper, you know, or whatever he said. Yeah, exactly.
Looney Tunes, right?
Yeah, I mean they're insane, and then they did, and that's it. And there's like the numbers are, it's like 130. You know, I mean, the sample size is incredibly small.
Yeah.
So it's nothing. There's nothing scientific about the analysis that white supremacy is the greatest threat.
It's amazing. I mean, it is amazing how many people honestly believe that the white supremacy is like
we said last week, man. Where are they all? I've never been invited. We get totally dissed by the white supremacists. Yeah. I never go to a white supremacist meeting or anything.
Here, can you bleach me? I'm white. Okay.
You would just think we would at least know about. You would at least know about them, you know, like you know about Antifa or BLM or something. You know, I haven't seen a KKK rally since like the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, right. It's been a while.
There was one in North Carolina or something, in sometime in the last few decades or something.
Yeah, a couple hundred people.
I think I remember hearing about it, but I mean,
moving on.
QAnon, what the hell is that? I mean, I don't know.
Let's see. You're gonna talk about COVID, are you?
Sure.
Okay, because I got nothing else on COVID.
I got a couple things.
Okay. I got some other stuff, but it can.
You want to do that now?
Yeah, you might as well get your COVID out of the way.
All right. Well, okay. So
I did notice, by the way, did I tell you that Black Lives Matter has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I love the new meme where they've got the Black Lives Matter people like smashing some shit up, and the meme is like, I'm sure there's a Peace Prize in here somewhere. Yeah. So, all right. Well, look. So here, down here in the middle bottom, you can see the last 4 sets of 10-day periods, and you can see what the deaths are in these top 5 states here, and then so what we've got, New York is still up at 200 a day now. California still up at 500 a day.
And they're about the same population, aren't they? Roughly?
New York, no, California is more.
More, I know, but not,
It's
38 million in
we're
California.
closer to New York than.
We're 22 million.
Yeah, I think New York's like 27 or 8 or something.
Yeah.
So, and then you can see that Texas down here at 300 a day, I think. Let's see, is that right? Texas. And then, I mean, and that's obviously a lot, 350 a day. I mean, that's their peak. And then Florida, just under 200 a day. Still our peak, but you got to figure, with the rolling out of these vaccines, and you got to figure that they're going to roll out the vaccines to the vulnerable people first.
You wonder about that. Who did get
I saw fucking O.J. Simpson got a damn thing, and the Guantanamo prisoners.
No, I think they said no on that.
They said, okay, all right.
I think there was a bit of an uproar.
No.
Yeah, hard to believe. But who else got it is cousin Chad.
Yes, I saw that.
Got his. He was so happy. That,
Well, hey,
you know what?
man,
He's at risk.
No.
More than me.
Yeah, right. Double lung transplant.
Double lung transplant. 80 years old.
Right?
For God's sakes.
Triple comorbidity.
Yeah, Jesus.
No, clearly not. Look, I don't know what the rollout of this thing has been, but it certainly hasn't been according.
Well, we're dried up here in the Mayo Clinic up in Jacksonville, and Shands here is dried up.
Really?
Yeah, none right now. Now they have what DeSantis got our governor got a lot of flack because they're withholding some for the second shot.
Right.
So they want to make sure you can get your second shot.
Yeah.
So why don't you use that for the first shot? I don't know.
Well, I guess you want, the people, if they come back for the second one and it's not there, then you got to start over or something probably.
I don't have any idea.
But whatever, they'll come up with them. But I gotta think, man, I can't believe they're running out at this point.
Well, they have the rollout has been. It's all Trump's fault.
Yeah.
So.
Well, look, it's been a few weeks. I mean, they're gonna get
a few weeks.
Apparently, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Apparently, Florida has already vaccinated like over 1 million people.
Something, yeah. Of course, out of 22 million, that's not many.
Well, but if it's all the old people,
that's true.
Then I mean, that could be the lion's share of everybody that's dying. Really.
Well, of course, we have a lot more than that old people in this state.
We do. We have, 20% or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to get up to 4 million vaccinations.
Yeah.
But within a couple of months, I would think we would have a pretty good, solid base. Anyway.
Well, it's funny because corporate is all panicky.
Mutation.
Corporate got her first shot because she has friends in high places.
Right.
But not me.
Well,
he's all upset about that. I'm not. Hear this coughing? That's because excuse me. Okay, now.
Giving it to me. Go ahead.
Yeah. I thought moving on to something else.
I got a couple
I'm sorry, go ahead.
things. Well, okay, so in terms of COVID, I saw videos this week. I didn't record them, but there was one of like a football game in Missouri. No masks anywhere. And everybody just blowing it off. And then
in the stands?
Yeah. And then on the flip side, people are now talking about 2 masks. As we were talking about before.
Somebody was talking. I mean, I might have been satire, but somebody was talking. If 2, why not 3?
Right. Well, and then the next meme was, how many feet of masks do you need?
Right. It's interesting because one of the things that Tucker Carlson did do was to play a Fauci from last March.
Yeah, where he's saying,
don't bother. No, nothing to worry about here.
Yeah,
Don't see.
I remember when I heard that, I was like, what? And that was on 60 Minutes.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, did he just say that?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking,
well, there
all
was,
right, that's just, he's just, I remember thinking at the time, he's just saying it. And sure enough, it was only like 2 weeks later he came out and said, oh no, we just didn't want you to get those, keep them from the medical professionals.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, I mean, look, it is what it is, but it's like I've been telling people all along. If you force people to do it, then they're unconsciously going to risk mitigate in the opposite direction. Just, if you make them feel comfortable, if you say, look, these masks, you got to wear this, they're going to go out more, they're going to be closer to people or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you've also got New York, of course, Cuomo's come out. You know, California and New York are both opened up a little bit. Cuomo's opening up the restaurants, but he's saying we're still going to have safety protocol measures in there.
Like what?
Social distancing and a mask and shit like that. And it's just like, it's amazing to me, the audacity, the arrogance that this guy thinks that he can just order people to behave like they're kids. Like, I mean, and look, we're going to force you to act a certain way for your own safety, because you can't be trusted to do it for your own self and for the other people or anything. And if you don't, we're going to beat the shit out of you with a stick, throw you in jail, take your license, find you out of existence or whatever. Yep. I mean, it's all for your own safety and for the safety of others.
Your own safety, that's right.
And so we'll see.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm curious to see if the states, if there's any repercussions for California and New York ever for their malfeasance at the governmental level, and if it's going to eventually end with what we sort of see, which is people moving out,
right?
And going to Texas and Florida and whatever. And I mean, is it going to be a big enough thing to really wake them up? I don't know.
Don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was something else that you mentioned that I don't know if I forget it. But
sorry, I blew past it. No. And the other thing I want to tell people is, look, Ebola is still out there, and it's a 50% killer. So be careful.
Okay. Yeah, I'm worried about that.
Well, look, if you're worried about COVID, you should be worried about Ebola.
That's true. Yeah, because you have a 2% chance of dying, or 1.5
right.
with the COVID, but 50% with Ebola. So do your thing.
That's it.
In New York, speaking of New York, one guy's decided to put up his. He's got 2 bars in New York, side-by-side bars.
Oh, okay, for Bitcoin?
For Bitcoin. Uh-huh. He decided to sell them. He's in Hell's Kitchen, selling out for cryptocurrency. Patrick Hughes has put his 2 side-by-side bars in New York's Hell's Kitchen up for sale for 25 Bitcoins, or 800 Ethereum tokens, now worth about 1.1 million. So, I mean, you say you can't buy anything with Bitcoins. Guess what? You can buy a restaurant.
You can. Sure. I mean, look, you can buy stuff with. Nobody said you couldn't buy stuff with Bitcoin. Well, that's the one thing you can do with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of stuff you can't. But anyway, I thought it was interesting.
You can't do anything else with it. Is the problem?
No. But it was interesting. It's a niche investment only a few years ago. Bitcoin has become the world's most popular cryptocurrency. Last year, it rose 300%, prompting investment banks to predict more future gains. J.P. Morgan Chase said it would reach 146,000, and Citigroup said 318,000.
And meanwhile, in literally the last week, Dogecoin went from 1 penny to 9 pennies.
900%.
900% in a week.
Short that baby.
Well, look, when it was up at 8 or whatever, people were like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And it's dropped back down to like 3.
Okay.
But
Bitcoin started out about 3.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, it was a penny. It was nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing. 2010, whatever, 29.
I remember.
Yep. Okay, so anyway, what the Dogecoin, like who's buying them? Are you buying?
Well,
did you get some?
I can't figure out how to get them. I mean, I signed up for a Robinhood account because I heard you could buy them on Robinhood, but then they haven't verified my account yet, and it's been like a week. And then I heard that they weren't doing crypto anymore. I'm not sure. I think that was probably a mistake. What they stopped doing was the instant crypto buying, which is a service that they have whereby if you indicate to them that you're going to make a transfer from your bank, they will immediately allow you to use the amount that you have dedicated, that you have committed to purchase your crypto coins.
Okay.
So, you may not have the money in the account is the thing.
Yeah.
And so, that may have been what caused a bit of their money squeeze, if they were in fact financially squeezed.
Yeah. One of the things that I do remember when I first bought my Bitcoins in 2012 or something, or 2011 maybe, when they were really relatively cheap, but you had to go on I went on a YouTube and the guy showed you how to do it, and it was not easy.
Right.
I had to walk over here to the grocery store, and they had a special red phone or something, and hand them the money, and then they give you a receipt with a number on it, and you call up, and that's the way you did it. But it was not easy.
The old days.
Yeah, the old days.
It's easy these days, but you
Yeah.
got it. Still, it's still not perfect. I've been trying to transfer money around between various apps and stuff to try to double check on their viability, and I'm losing tens of dollars of Bitcoin in transfers because it's not showing up. So I don't know. We'll see. But Coinbase is the one if you want to do it.
Okay, Coinbase. Yeah, now I have a Coinbase account. Yeah, I haven't done anything with it yet. Okay, let me see. There's a war between Apple and Facebook. I don't want to talk about that. But I did see this. Did Trump kill satire? Saturday Night Live kicks off the Biden era in remarkably weak form. How do you make fun of Biden? That's the problem is.
Well, we did it with our election thing. Did you see?
No, which one now?
Maybe you didn't see it. I produced a debate between.
Oh yes, I saw that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. But that's right. But now we're talking about is what they're trying to do is to read the newspapers on what happened last week with the speaker for Biden, comes out and says stuff and whatever. But I mean, it's so mundane. It's so left. They're trying desperately to get some satire out of it. It's nothing. They said.
Well, give it a little time here. Look, Biden's going to be plenty easy to make fun of.
Well, we'll
once
see.
He starts getting into the meat of the presidency. Well, there's some real decisions to be made, whether it's South China Sea or Russia or something. I mean, right now they're still batting around the ball about Trump.
They did. They said here was the biggest question of all: what will late night comedy do without Trump?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, but I mean, I don't know if they'll have the stomach to make fun of Biden. I know
that's part of it.
For 4 years, we've had nothing but one-sided comedy.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, unbelievable.
And I don't know what even Colbert came out and did like a mushy piece on. It's like, dude.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Try to be funny.
Yeah, no.
Just try.
Okay, this is so. I did say that Black Lives Matter has been nominated for a. I mean, it was a guy in Norway that did it.
It was okay. Once they gave it to Arafat.
Yeah, right.
I was like a 17-year-old kid, and even I was like, okay, what? Yeah. Wait, what? That guy?
A terrorist?
That guy?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, okay, I guess he came to the table or whatever, but lost all respect for him.
Okay, one of my last things here is what the guy said was the Black Lives Matter has become a very important worldwide movement to fight racial injustice. I'm thinking, worldwide? Was Floyd over there? I mean, what? I don't know.
They had race riots in England and shit.
Yeah, well, some of that was, I don't know, but over there, don't they have mostly Muslim type stuff?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, my last thing that I've got here, which you'll love. Hackers hold a man's penis for ransom in a digital chastity belt.
What?
And they demand a Bitcoin to unlock it.
What?
Sam Summers thought it would be a good idea to strap on a Chinese-made chastity cage onto his penis with an app connected to the internet. He said not too long after he put it on the device, a message popped up informing him that someone had hacked in and taken control of the device and demanded $1,000 in Bitcoin to unlock it.
Uh-huh.
They had a picture of it in the thing there. If you look at it.
What sites are you on?
Motherboard and Summers said is one of a handful of people late last year that bought a chastity cage device called Cellmate. These devices are manufactured in China, running on a flawed app that hackers were able to lock users out of the device. Now, I'm not sure exactly where this fits in the whips and chains business or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, this is off the charts.
I just thought it was. I'm ending with this, okay? Because I thought this was so far. I thought to myself, what? You hear about crazy people doing crazy things, okay?
Yeah.
But this has got to be one of the craziest.
How did they talk him into? I don't even like it.
Okay, Cellmate it's called.
Yeah. Okay. Did you see? they're talking about Trump's impeachment team or whatever. That's the headline today.
No.
Was his impeachment team quit by his 5 lawyers? Or
Oh, right. Yeah, his defense lawyers, right? Quit. Yeah.
And so I guess he doesn't have Dershowitz, which maybe he'll hire Dershowitz now. That's what he should get because he knows all about it. We'll see. Like we talked about last time, it doesn't seem as though they have a good case for conviction.
God, they got nothing.
And so I'm just curious
Got nothing.
as to whether or not they're going to do. I mean, look. First, let me just say, lawyers quit all the time when you've got a client like Trump because they're always trying to tell you how to do your job.
You're right.
And lawyers, more than anybody else, except maybe doctors, are going to do the job their way. You can't go to the doctor and be like, "Well, why don't you cut from over on this side?"
Yeah, right.
And so, but I'm curious to see whether or not they're going to do the $2,000 first or go after Trump first.
Good. Well, 1,400 now. Don't be greedy.
2,000, man.
No, I'm sorry, 1,400.
Come on, man. Yeah. Look, man, if they do 1,400,
are you going to complain?
Bitterly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna write a scathing
letter.
Text or
there
tweet.
You go. Might as well start it now.
That's right, a tweet, not a whole letter or anything.
Okay. 240 characters.
That's right. I might fill it up. You know.
There you go.
So all right. Let's see. Anything else?
Maybe next time what we'll do is maybe talk a little about Elizabeth Warren is on her warpath again about the wealth tax.
Yeah.
And her comment on the wealth tax I thought was kind of funny. She said, let's see, what did she say? This is what they always say. I love it. I wonder if on Facebook. No, that's not it. There's this whole thing. Let's see. Elizabeth Warren mocks a reporter's concerns over wealth tax as a bluff. And of course, what the reporter says, well, if you put a wealth tax on, do you think people are going to start moving out? Nah, they never move out. Hell no. Of course, you've seen people start to move out of California.
That's what I'm talking about. Are there ever going to be consequences for these high taxes?
Are they any going to be? But she says, all I'm saying is, can we just have a little fairness here? A 2-cent wealth tax so that we can have universal child care?
I know.
A 2-cent wealth tax?
I know. Everybody was making fun of her for that.
Oh my God! I just laughed.
Even I put a thing on there too. Would you rather pay 2 cents or 2% of your net worth year over year?
Yeah, 2 cents.
It's so disingenuous. She's the fakest. God. She's the fakest politician. I mean, she makes Kamala Harris look like a real person.
Really? Oh, yeah. Well, okay. That's saying a lot.
It is.
That's saying a lot.
Now look at this cute little kitty.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Hug coming your way.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much.
A couple minutes early. This is good.
That's right. It happens sometimes. Thank you very much, Kevin, for these tracks. We really appreciate it. Come back and join us again. It's going to be February.
It's going to definitely be February. Short month. February. But we're going to put off, not going to do much, but February 8th, of course, is a big day because that's when the trial starts, right?
I don't know.
I think it is.
I thought you were going to say because of Mardi Gras.
You're right. No.
All right. Share with your friends. Find us around the web, video format on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. And you know what? Maybe Parler and Gab again soon. I guess Gab is still kind of
Gab is still up, I think.
And then audio format. It lives in Apple, Amazon, Google, SoundCloud, Spotify.
You saw where a girl got fired for using Gab.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, good. We can't be fired.
That's right. No.
So at least we hope not. We don't know what that would look like, but it would be good.
Well, it's not like we're going to get our sponsors cut us off.
That's right. Exactly. So share this, of course, and here's our Bitcoin address too. So, all right. See you soon.